Check it out. We are here checking out my buddy's 1962 Chevy Apache. So it hasn't been started in about 10 years. So we're gonna go ahead and pull it out and get a better view of it and check out the engine. I believe it's a straight six Chevy 250. Might be a 230. So let's check it out. All right, we're about to get in here and check it out. These trucks are pretty similar to my 1966 Chevy G10 van. Same similar button. This is 3 on the tree. Here you go, Apache 10 it says on there. So we're gonna go ahead and get it out of gear and push it out. So here we go. We've got the 3 on the tree here. But this feature I'm not familiar with. This is the emergency brake, which is pretty cool. Nice little shotgun handle right there. Let's move her. Here she is. My buddy says she looks like a monster. She is a beast. Look at that big front end right there. Square top. Pretty neat, right? Look at that. Apache 10. There we are. So we'll go ahead and open the hood in a little bit. We've got the long arms here. That's as far as it gets right now. Oh, nope. Closes all the way. Looks good. Solid. Pretty simple trucks. We have like a heater box right there. Looks like a windshield bottle of sorts. The controls right here. All right, let's check out the engine compartment. All right, here we are with the engine compartment open. It's a straight six, but it looks pretty simple and it looks like it was taken care of. The battery doesn't look too old, but we've got something going on here. So the first thing we want to check, as we talked about with my friend Rudy here, is see if there any rats lived in here, any rodents. That way when we start her up, it doesn't catch fire. We're gonna check the engine oil, see how grimy it is. It is grimy up here on the outside part, so we have to wonder what the inside looks like. We're gonna take the valve cover off. We're gonna check the dipstick, see how clear, how thick that oil is. But other than that, it looks pretty simple. This one looks like a beast compared to my Chevy 230 that's in the G10 van. So this one is probably a 236 straight six, and the old school generator right there instead of the newer alternators with a regulator here. So it looks fairly taken care of. It looks kind of brand new here. Battery as well. So pretty old school. I'm even thinking the distributor is well taken care of too. So, but the oil, the leaking oil in the past, it just grimed up. So we're gonna check that out. First things first is the oil, and we're gonna change it, and then we'll check for spark and all that. All right, and time to shop at the auto parts store for starting fluid and oil and all that good stuff. So let's check her out. One thing I noticed after turning off the camera here is there's even an aluminum radiator. So even there you can see someone took care of the cooling situation So they have that going on. All right, we're taking a closer look at the engine compartment here. It looks like it has a 1-barrel carburetor, and it's not a windshield wiper tank here. It's for the radiator. So right there, yep, the overflow tank for the aluminum radiator there. So we're gonna go ahead and I don't know, degrease the area here. Look at that oil pan. Oh man, that is caked on there. And we want to clean the contact area for the battery in there. But we're gonna open up the valve cover and check inside. But the spark plugs look pretty clean. So the important part is the other side. So we'll go ahead and take that off and take a closer look at that. So we're checking the oil right now. It looks pretty dark. I mean, not thick, but yeah, not the color of a new oil. So we're gonna go ahead and change that. But it's full. So it wasn't dry. So that's a good sign. All right, so we're in the process of taking off the spark plugs. One thing I want to record is how these wires are placed. I have to research what the order is. I know right here they have them 2, 4. So I want to see if that's I'm not even going to pay attention to that. I just want to see what the factory order is, and if it corresponds to the location of the wires right now. So this is the first one that was taken out. Real dirty, real rich, and filled with carbon, and it's gunky. So not such a good sign. So we're gonna take them all off, and we're gonna put some Marvel mystery oil. So we're gonna put some of that in there, and we're gonna crank the engine over. I will disconnect the coil so we don't get power to the coil, and we'll just have it crank. That way the pistons go get some lube in there in the cylinders. And number 6 right here. So they're all pretty much the same. Rich, full of carbon. All right, here we are putting Marvel mystery oil into the cylinders through the spark plug hole. We put in a MacGyver or something, so we have a little small funnel we're just bending up so it doesn't fall down. Just putting a little bit in each cylinder. That should be good enough. And then once we do that, we'll rotate the engine. That's a hard one, huh? Let's see how we can do this one with a limited space. All right, we've got Marvel mystery oil inside the engine. We're gonna give it a crank. It doesn't have a center bolt for me to manually turn the harmonic balancer over. So we're just gonna crank it without spark plugs. So no sparks. 235 Chevy straight 6. I'm trying to rotate the engine manually. I usually do it by the crank bolt, but it doesn't have one. I mean, I'm familiar with the Chevy 230s, 250s, straight 6s. They didn't have a bolt either. You know, you could drill it, tap it for a bolt, and rotate it that way. Or there's the harmonic balancer bolts, which I don't see here. They're like rivets here. So you could technically turn it from the bolts themselves to manually turn the balancer. How do you manually turn this engine? So my other option is to crank it without spark, but I'm not able to do that right now. So manually would have been nice. how do you manually turn this engine, Chevy 235? Let me know. All right, so we have the ability to turn over the engine, the crank manually by doing the radiator fan. So at first it was difficult. I took off all the spark plugs all over again. That was gonna make that a little easier, and sure enough, I started getting better. So there it is, with the lube inside the cylinders, Marvel Mystery Oil. You can hear it. There it is. Like, the easier it gets, right? Mm-hmm. All right, that means it's getting lubricated in there, so that's a good sign. All right, we're about to start this sucker up. Let's see if it cranks for us.
Let me start it, huh? Now you got it.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray a little bit of starter fluid on there, see if it's fuel. If it starts for us, I mean, our sparks are doing pretty good. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll spray it initially, but I'll have Rudy do that, all right, as I attempt to get it started. So try that. Running on old gasoline, so gasoline might still be okay. As soon as we put some fresh some fresh gasoline in there, it should dilute whatever's in there. So it's holding on. All right, so we were able to get the truck started. This is actually Rudy's truck, who's been partially in the video. But yeah, we got some lube inside the cylinders. We were manually able to rotate it. We haven't changed the oil, so we're gonna do that. But he wanted to go ahead and get her started. We try not to do that unless we have fresh oil in there, but we're gonna do that right away. So the oil didn't look too bad. It looked darker, but I mean, it wasn't grimy. What's grimy is the outside. And I think initially we tried to start her with this battery, and it just wasn't doing it for us. But as you can see, it's very corroded around here. So we made some twists, and we did a little bit of cleaning the grounds. That's what we need to do, is degrease everything. And then we're gonna do an oil change, check into the valve cover, and put some new gaskets on there. All right, till the next one. 62 Chevy Apache.